Yeah. Your boy Still About Money live right now on Power 93.7 WBOK, the People Station. It's that time again. 716 Spotlight, of course, brought to you by Easy Loan Auto Sales. I got a special. I always say that, right? But I don't have people up here if they're not special, so don't judge me. Judge free zone, all right? Beautiful singer, beautiful songwriter, the young, the talented Amber Simone.
Hi.
See how I did that? I've been working on my intros. You like that?
No, it
like
sounds awesome. Yeah.
For those who don't know, how old are you, my dear?
I'm 23 years old.
Now, this 23-year-old sensation, a lot of you might recognize her face. It was what, 2015?
2015. Yes.
She went viral for singing at a friend's graduation party?
Yes, it was my friend's
What song were you singing about?
I was singing my rendition of The Worst by Jhené Aiko.
Now, I'm going to put a link, obviously, so you can see how good she sings. She actually sang kind of like me. You know, I've been practicing. You know what I'm saying? I've been hitting them notes. Well, at least in the shower. Judge free zone. No, beautiful voice. Now,
you.
How did that come about? Your friends invited you out. You just happened to be there. People got their phones. They said, sing, Amber, sing. Like, what happened?
Basically, actually. Well, I actually wasn't supposed to go. Because my mom, she was mad at me for some reason. She wasn't letting me take the car. And it was all the way out in Grand Island. So I'm like, how am I going to get there? Uber wasn't really a thing.
Not at that time.
No, it wasn't. I would have just taken an Uber. But honestly, I just had good friends. And they're like, oh, we'll come get you. And they came and got me. So I got there, and it was my friend graduating high school. So all my friends from like my high school were there. And it was like a pool party. So... it was actually the second time I sang the song, because the first time I sang it, no one was recording.
And they was like, you gotta do that again.
Like, wait, we gotta record it. She's like, oh, I'm gonna put this on my Facebook. You know what's actually crazy? She's like, I'm gonna put this on my Facebook and it's gonna go viral. And I'm like, oh yeah, like whatever, yada yada yada.
Everybody say that, but not many people could go viral. Like.
Right, and I think that's what we always like talked about. I'm like, wait, you said that though. Like, you literally said that. And I remember she called me. She was like, did you go on Facebook at all? And I'm like, no. Like, she's like, go on Facebook and look at the video. It has a lot of views right now. I'm just like, oh.
Now, what was the number the next day? What number you had? Do you remember?
The number on I think when I first saw it, it was like 300,000 or something. So I'm just like, oh, like, that's cool. Like, cool.
You said,
great.
That's cool. Oh, you so humble. I love your spirit.
I wasn't like thinking about that though. Like, you know, it was just random. Like, I
Let me
sing
get
for my friends
10,000
all the
views.
time.
You can't tell me nothing. All right.
Honestly, it was so random. I sing in front of my friends all the time.
So it was no big deal for you. Like, I just gave you a little taste.
Yeah.
When did it come real? Like, oh my God, nah, this is really something.
I think when I hit a mil, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then when I was getting tagged and people were like reposting it and tagging me, I'm like, oh, a lot of people are seeing this. That's really cool. And I'm just like, oh, like that's a good feeling. So then when it bumped to like 2 mil, I think that's when I started to really get excited. And I think that's when things I felt started to fall in place, because I mean, everyone has a dream of being a singer. Not everyone, let me not say that, but people who have.
Ooh, baby. All right, Judge, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was great. I think everyone has, like, anyone who's a singer, they're really passionate about it. So they're like, oh, like, I want to be a singer. But a lot of times people don't know how they're going to go about it or like how it's going to happen. So at that time and place, I'm just like, this is my moment.
This is
God,
it.
like, this is it. And like, I didn't want to finish college because I didn't want to finish school. Oh, hell no. I was like, what? I could drop out.
I'm on my Beyonce. I'm over it. I hit 2 million by professor.
I was like, nah, school, class, I'm good on that. So this was summer going into my sophomore year. So at that time, I was feeling a lot of stress because like so many people were calling me like, oh, I have this deal, I have this, like we could do this for you.
All the sharks in the water right now.
Everything. And it was just overwhelming for like any 19-year-old. I'm just stressed. I was like, do I finish school? Because like a lot of people were telling me, well, you got to have a backup plan because the industry is crazy. What are you going to do if they drop you from a label? Now what? So I was just like, man, what am I going to do? So at that point, I was just like, all right, I'm just going to continue to just make music and finish school.
So the family helped make that decision not to sign nothing right now and to keep grinding?
Because I wanted to do it.
You was like, no.
I wanted to do it so badly. I'm like, oh, I'm like, you know, everybody that did me dirty, ha ha. Look at this, look at that. You feel away now, all that. But I'm just like, they wanted me to finish school so badly. And looking back on it now, I am extremely grateful.
That you finished.
So grateful because, yes, college is stressful and it's a lot of work. But I've also seen so many stories and heard so many stories about people dropping people from
That's a
labels.
fact.
And then what are you going to do now, especially if you sign when you're like
Or
16?
keeping you on a label and not letting you release music.
That's another factor. And it's like, so I think that was the thing that was like, oh, I'm really going to work on my independence. So I made a label. So I had my own label.
So what's the label now?
It's called Eggersville.
And how long have you been having Eggersville?
Since 2015.
Oh, you started right away. Oh, you smart.
I was literally on it. But I think that situation, I'm really grateful for because it set a foundation for where I want to go now. That's when I made my YouTube channel in 2015. That's when I'm like, okay, I got to make a website. Okay, my website, I'm still working on that. But yeah, so I'm grateful for that because that like kickstarted my YouTube channel.
And of course, it brought you interviews. You had news channels hitting you up for interviews.
Yeah, I think that was the moment I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna work. Like they're gonna love me. Like, but I think that was cool seeing like USA Today say something, MTV. I'm just like, whoa. Like,
yeah, you were on everything.
Yeah, I don't want to say everything,
Yeah,
but
say
don't
pat yourself on the back. Say everything.
Everything. Yeah, it was really cool. So
now you did get some. I don't want to say. Well, I'll just say it. You did get some weird situations that kind of arose because of your sudden fame as well, right?
Yeah.
Now, of course, we all know things going on with R. Kelly right now. He just got arrested and just made bail. But you actually kind of had a weird encounter with somebody associated with him, right? Due to them seeing you go viral. Why don't you tap on that just a little bit? So you go viral, boom. Someone hits you in your inbox on Facebook and says...
Yeah, so... her name is Carlita Hodges. So she reposted my video and then she messaged me. She was like, "Oh, like, congrats on your video." And I was getting inboxes from
8 million
everybody.
of them,
So like,
yeah.
I wasn't really thinking anything. I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate it." And she's like, "Oh, like, they'll like be really careful because the industry is crazy. People are gonna try to manipulate you in so many ways." I'm like, "Oh, like, good looks. I know that, but I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you." She's like, "Oh, but I really want to introduce you to one of my friends." I'm just like, oh, like who's your friend? She's like, R. Kelly. At that moment, literally wanted to die. I'm like, no way, because I absolutely adored him. Like,
and this was 2015. He was innocent at the time. We didn't know the documentary surviving R. Kelly. We didn't know that information. So we still stepping in the name of love at this moment.
Every summer, every family reunion, faithfully. And I mean, even the first song I learned how to sing was an R. Kelly song. Well, it was a Kirk Franklin song, but R. Kelly was on the song.
He's so embedded in our culture, like it's crazy.
It's insane, and that was okay. Yeah, so she told me she wanted to introduce me, and at that moment, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm obsessed with him. I love him. I'm like, yeah, like when? She's like, oh, I'm gonna call him. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, like do that. I'll be here waiting. So we exchanged numbers and we were just texting back and forth, just talking about how she wanted me to basically be the face of her domestic violence campaign.
I like it. So
I was all for it. I mean, of course, like why would I not want to support that? Because I guess the song that I sang that went viral, it was more of a I'm going to get out of this versus like I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna go down for this.
Yeah,
because
that's
I was
Survivor.
like, I don't need you and I don't want you versus like I need you and I want you and nobody else is gonna have you. So she liked that idea, I liked that idea, and then so from that point on, my mom was my manager at the time, so she was just like, oh, like I think that's awesome, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just really want to be a part of this because like Amber's still in school, she doesn't really like know. I'm like, I don't, so that's...
Yeah, mama looking out for you. Ain't nothing wrong with mama being a mama bear. I like it.
So I was just like, yeah, okay, you got that. Like, all right, just tell me where to be and when. So, but the thing is, Carlita kept calling me at like 12 o'clock in the morning, like 1 o'clock in the morning. But I wasn't thinking anything negative about that because I'm like, oh, well, she's on West Coast. So
yeah, West Coast time.
I'm not thinking anything bad about that, but... like looking back on it now, I'm like, ooh, like okay.
After seeing the whole surviving R. Kelly thing,
I think that was the moment where I realized everything was like twisted. So she calls me at like 12 o'clock in the morning. She's like, oh, I'm gonna call Robert right now, and I'm like, oh, lit, like this is great. And then, so she called his cell phone, and I guess he didn't. He has like 5 numbers apparently.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know, like
he got
whatever.
trap phones,
right? So she knows him because she had an affair with him or something like that, and she wrote a book on it. But she's also the ex-wife of a Bulls player, so I guess that's how things transpired between them. So I'm just like, okay, like whatever. So she's like, okay, so I'm on the other line with her, and she's like, okay, he didn't answer the cell phone, but I'm gonna call his house phone. And at that moment, something just in my gut, I'm just like, I don't know about this.
Sit right with your spirit.
The day before, we all sat down and we talked about how we're gonna include my mom and things, and like, why would she just be contacting me, especially this late? She knows East Coast time. So I remember sitting on my bed and I'm just like, do I say something or do I not say something? Because I want to meet R. Kelly.
And you want to be the star that you know you are.
And I admire him for so many things. Like his songwriting, so he writes for so many people. And at that time, I was really trying to tap into my songwriting because I'm just like, oh, like that's where the money is. Like I really want to do this. Maybe like that could be my way into the industry. And at that point, I was overwhelmed because I'm just like, something doesn't feel right. And I remember sitting on my bed and I just had to make a decision. I'm just like, I'm just gonna say something. I know mom's not gonna take it well, so I put the lady on mute. So I go in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, like, hey, mom.
You look great today, mama.
Basically, I was just like, oh yeah, well, Carlita's on the line and she's calling R. Kelly right now. My mom's like, what? Super mad. Absolutely, just she was so mad, so mad. So she's like, hang up that phone right now. I'm just like, why? Like, I didn't want to hang up that phone at all. But she's like, no, hang it up. So I'm just like, click. And at that point, mom's like, why is she contacting you when I specifically asked for her to contact me? It's 12 o'clock in the morning. Something's just not right. Like, no.
Mamas know.
Listen, I'm learning. And I'm just like, wow, I'm so glad that, like, I'm just really glad that I listened, because that people don't realize that really took a lot. And
like, how hard was that to make that decision, that choice to, you know what, I'm going to go tell my mother instead of grabbing the phone, jumping on the plane, leaving to go what you think could be your star, your moment in life? Yeah. Like, how hard was that to really say, you know what, let me include my parents, someone I know cares about me?
I think at that moment, I wasn't really thinking too into depth about, like, what could happen and all that. I was just more in the moment. But, like, later on, I'm just like, oh, like, I could have easily just hopped on a plane and said I was going to see my cousins in, like, North Carolina.
And that's what a lot of these young girls have done, things like that.
And after watching the documentary, then that's when I'm like, oh, like, nobody knew about how, I didn't know that he had people that were going out for him to recruit the girls. So I think that was what was the scary part. I'm just like, could that have been me? No way. Like,
and they try to bait you with something positive and make it seem, and then that's how they will you in. So luckily, you made it through that, all right? He didn't get his little grubby hands on you.
I mean, people were giving me, like, backlash about it, but I'm just like, in the end of the day,
like, I don't see how they could blame you. How would you?
I mean, people are always going to find something negative to say, but I think it was more so like, people are like, oh, you're comparing yourself to these girls that were, like, abuse. I'm like, I never said that I was in his house. I never said I was peeing in a bucket. I never said any of that. What I was trying to say, that I'm no different from those girls because they all had the same dream as me.
That's a
they
fact.
all wanted to be songwriters. They all wanted to be singers, and they were all like my age. And at that time, we could have done whatever we wanted to do. But it was your decision to be like, okay, wait, let me think about this.
It's so important for you to share that story, because the strength you showed in that moment could help save someone's life. It may not be R. Kelly, but it may be another man in power, another man in a position, and somebody trying to grow and improve their situation. Sometimes you are put in those awkward situations where you got to make a decision. And I'm glad you're able to tell that story and be that strength, so women can look at you and go, you know what, I don't have to just sell my soul, so to speak, to get where I want to go. Because look, you're here now. And now we got new music. It's popping. It's bubbling. First project is dropping when? March
22nd.
Right? And what's the name of that?
It is called Exposition.
Now, okay, now y'all got some music lined up. Now, you know I'm all about exclusives. So we got 2 projects lined up. I'm not supposed to say nothing. Don't tell nobody. All right. Y'all got that much music, though, where you can have 2 projects lined up. You're going to drop the first one in March. Have you made a decision on when the second one's going to drop it, or you guys just going to let this live first?
I'm trying, let the first one bubble a little bit. Then I was going to, like, work on a campaign with a single that I have. And then after that, I was going to release the second project. But, like, I've been writing so much. It's just, like, I'm writing forever. So I have things in my layer.
And you got to get it out.
I mean, now I'm just, like, I got to stop, like, overthinking my work, and I just got to share it. So I'm
glad you shared. Now, some of the stuff I heard you guys can't hear yet. You can hear a lot of it on the project on March 22nd. I'm so amazed. Your homeboy, your manager sent me, I want to say, like 3 or 4 tracks. I tried to sing them all. I sound nothing like you. You are amazing.
Thank you.
For me, your future is so bright. The charisma you have, the strength, the power. I see something real big for you. And I want to say that I was in the beginning before you got all big, so you can't get bougie on me when you turn to Beyonce.
Ever,
all right?
ever.
Now tell people the YouTubes. Where can they find your music at? Where can they tune into you at?
So my YouTube is Amber Simone, period. And my SoundCloud, Amber Simone Music. My Instagram, she is Amber Simone. My Twitter, she is Amber Simone.
Yeah, get it out.
My Facebook, Amber Simone.
And for y'all slow ones out there, Judge Free Zone. That's Simone. And yes, I looked at the paper. Don't judge me. See, I feel like y'all doing that again. It's a Judge Free Zone. Don't judge me.
No, not here to judge you.
I'm so thankful that you came. Next 2 weeks is all about you, all right?
Thank
front
you so
page
much.
of the app, front page of the website. We all talking about Amber Simone. Now, I normally don't do this, right? Why don't you say like 3 seconds for me? Sing something for me. You can sing Hi Still, I Love Your Radio Station, anything. All right, I just want them to get a taste before they click on this music to see what you're working with.
Okay, WBLK.
Oh my God. Don't give them no more. That's it. That's it. You see what I'm talking about, right? You see it. Go check her out next 2 weeks. It's all about this beautiful talent. What's in store about money? Here's my last 2 cents till we meet again, Buffalo. Chase the dream, not the money. Dream it, believe it, put God first and achieve it. You know the steal. Mama on the radio.